Hi, I'm Simon with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we're going to show you how to repair your appliance. Are you ready? Remember, anytime you work on your appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we'll show you how to replace the defrost heater in the Frigidaire refrigerator. It's going to be a very easy repair. Should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. For the job, we're going to need a 3/8 socket wrench, number 2 square bead screwdriver, flat blade screwdriver, 4-inch nut driver, and a pair of pliers. When you open up the package, you're going to get a new defrost heater, a couple of butt connectors, and a couple of heat shrink sleeves. The defrost heater is located in the freezer compartment behind the evaporator cover panel. When energized in a defrost cycle, the heater melts the frost off the evaporator coil, preventing icing on the coil. If the temperature in the freezer and in the fresh food sections is higher than normal and there is ice buildup on the rear panel in the freezer, check and replace the defrost heater if needed. In order to get to the part, we need to open the freezer door. The next step, we need to remove this freezer door. In order to do that, we need to take out 2 3/8 bolts on each side, so total 4. I'm using a 3/8 socket wrench, and let's go to work. This pin on this side is holding the door. We have exactly the same pin on the opposite side, so to remove the door, I need to lift it up off those 2 pins. All right, I'm going to grab the door. I'll take it on this portion also, not only the handle. Don't put all the weight on the handle. And lift it up and out. Now I'm going to remove the freezer basket and lift up this side and slide it out. All right, so I'm going to slide the rails in. And I'm going to pull out this drawer. My next step will be taking out this wire basket. I'll lift it up by a couple of inches and then slide it out. Next, we're going to remove this connecting bar. In order to do that, we need to remove 2 locking pins, one on each side. I'm going to use the flat blade screwdriver. I'm going to pry it out. Alright, so now this side, I'm prying it out with a flat blade screwdriver. So now the tabs here in that cutout on the top and at the bottom, we're going to press it with a flat blade screwdriver. We probably can get away with just pressing only top one. Yep, slide out, keep it there, and we're going to do the same thing here, and slide it out. Next, I'm going to slide these upper rails. Alright, so let's pull out these rails, and we're not going to pull it out completely. We're going to pull it so these the screws that holds the bar at the back would be exposed. We're going to use a square bead number 2 screwdriver to take this screw out. You also can use a large Phillips screwdriver. And now I'm going to remove the bar. So our next step is taking out these the bottom rails on both sides. Alright, so we have a screw in there that holds the rail, and I'm going to use the square bead number 2 screwdriver. I will explain you why. Technically you can use a large Phillips, but because it may fall inside this hinge after you take it out, you better use this bead because it's very tight. Alright, so I'm gonna move the whole assembly outside and about an inch. It will give enough room to free all the 3 pins at the same time. Those are the pins I was talking about. Alright, so I'm gonna take out the right side rail the same way that we took off the left side. I'm using that square bead number 2 screwdriver. I'm gonna remove the screw here. We can call it a safety screw. I'm gonna open the rail slightly, and then I'm gonna grab it from the back and the front and slide it forward about an inch so we can release these 3 pins. And we can move it off. Next, I'm going to take off this evaporator motor cover. We have 3 Phillips screws. I'm using a square bead number 2 screwdriver. You can use a large Phillips screwdriver. I'm not going to remove the cover. Next, we need to remove the 2 1/4-inch screws, 1 on each side, and also this ground wire clip. So I'm using a 1/4-inch nut driver. I am going to take out this right side screw first, and we're going to move to the left. Now I'm going to slide off this ground wire clip. Next, I'm going to remove this grill cover. And lift it up slowly, and it will pop out. It's held in place with this 2 clips, 1 on each side, that goes into the grill. Now we can remove the evaporator cover. I'm gonna grab it in this area, slightly bend it, and pull it out. Next, we need to disconnect this terminal. This is our defrost heater terminal. There's 2 of them, 1 on each side. We're going to start with this side. There's a locking tab at the back. I'm going to push it and pull the plug. Next, I need to remove this plug from this bracket. That's our defrost heater plug. And 2 tabs, 1 on the top, 1 at the bottom, needs to be pushed in. I'm using a flathead screwdriver. I'm going to do it from this side. I'm going to press it in, and I'm going to push it out. Alright, so we're on the left side, and I'm going to do the same thing. We need to unplug this. The tab is right there. I'm going to press it in and pull it apart. Next, we're going to remove this red plug from the bracket. 2 tabs, 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom. I'm going to use the flathead screwdriver. I'm going to press down on the tab here, and I'm going to press it out. So we've got 3 metal ties that holds the heater. 1 right there. Another one is here at the bottom on the left, and 1 the same place on the right side. So let's take them out, the 3 of them. I'm going to unbend it here. And I'm going to use the flathead screwdriver. I'm going to help myself. That's 1. We're going to move to the next one here at the bottom. I'm again using the flathead screwdriver, and I'm going to unwrap that strap. So this is our 3rd strap here, and again using the flathead screwdriver, I'm going to straighten that piece. Next, I need to remove this 2 1/4-inch screws to loosen up this structure, that fan motor bracket. Using a 1/4-inch nut driver, I am going to take them out and loosen up this. Let's unplug it and put it out of the way. Alright, so next step would be taking out 2 1/4-inch screws on this side that holds the bracket and the evap coil to the back of the freezer. So using a 1/4-inch nut driver, I'm taking out those 2 screws, and after we finish doing that, I move to the right side and I'm gonna do the same thing. We have 2 more screws over there. So I'm going to bend out the evaporator coil at the bottom. We need to clear that step so we can take out the defrost heater. Bend only where the copper line is. Do not bend aluminum. So we're gonna grab it with both hands right there, and the same place on the left side, and bend it out. All right, I think we can do it now. This is the old defrost heater next to the new one. If you don't have this part, you can get it from appliancepartspros.com. Right, so what we need to do now, we need to slide the new heater through this loop and through that loop on the top. And then I'm going to plug it in. So the opposite side just puts between the coils. We don't need to slide it into any loops. So let's start it. Okay, so let's plug this one in. It locks. And then we're going to continue with putting the defrost heater. Okay, we're going to run the wire into this loop. Pull up on the heater. And I'm going to plug this into this cutout here in the bracket. Okay, make sure it's locked. All right, now I'm gonna attach this tie, and I need to lift it up. If you notice it, I straighten it using needle nose pliers, and I'm going to place it through the little window here, like that. And now I'm going to use the pliers and going to pull it. And tighten it. Bend it and bend it back, making a little loop here, and hide it underneath. Next, we're going to tie this strap. I also stretched it using the pliers to make it much easier. I'm going to place it into the opening here, bend it, and make a nice turn back. And now we've got this third one. I'm going to do the same thing. And grab the pliers. Alright, so we're going to bend the evaporator coil back to the wall. I'm going to grab it on the sides where the copper tube is and bend it in. Okay, next I'm going to attach the brackets to the wall. There's 4 1/4-inch screws on 2 on each side. And it's going to match the holes and install that screw here using a 1/4-inch nut driver. And I'm going to install the bottom one. I'm going to tighten that one at the bottom, and I'm going to go to the left side and install 2 more screws. Now I'm going to install this evap fan motor assembly. I'm going to start with plugging it in. Right in there. Alright, so it goes in this way. These 2 posts at the bottom, that plastic post goes beyond the coil. And bring up, and we're going to align the holes and secure it with a couple of 1/4-inch screws. Alright, we're going to plug in the defrost heater. Alright, and now we can install this evaporator cover. I'm going to insert the left side first. So we need to install the panel left side first behind this water inlet tube. And then we can install the rest of the panel. The bottom is inside and the top goes in like that. And then let's clip on this cover. I'm going to place the tabs into the grill. On both sides. And just lower it down. So next I'm going to fish out this ground wire clip, and we're gonna install it under the cover. So now we're gonna secure the evap cover with a couple of 1/4-inch screws. We're gonna start with this side using a nut driver, and I'm gonna switch the sides, and we're gonna install the second 1/4-inch screw. And now we're going to install the cover, this evaporator motor cover back on. This part goes into the cutout in the ceiling. Push it up. And I'm going to use the my number 2 square bead screwdriver. And we're going to install 3 screws. So now we're going to install the left side bottom rail. We've got 3 pins on the wall, and we got 3 cutouts. So this is number 1, this is number 2, and this is number 3. We need to install them simultaneously, almost simultaneously. I'm going to start with this one, and we're going to play a little bit so that all 3 of them will be in the cutouts. So let's do it. I've got 2 back ones. And I'm going to straighten this out and slide this front bottom one in. Push it all the way back, and then we're going to slide this in. And now we're going to secure this rail with that single Phillips screw. And I'm using the square bead number 2. All right, I'm going to install the right side bottom rail. We're going to mount it on this 3 pins here, and we got 3 cutouts, same as on the left side. And I'm going to start with 2 rear ones. I'm going to place it on, and then lift up and put the front one in. Push it back, then close the rail. And now I'm going to secure the rail with that safety screw. I'm using the square bead number 2 screwdriver. Now I'm going to install this connecting bar. Slide this in, and I'm going to align the holes. All right, now we're going to secure this connecting bar with the single screw here on the left side. I'm using a square bead screwdriver. Square bead number 2. And now we can push the rails in. All right, I'm going to pull out the rails here on the top ones. Let's install the connecting bar. I'm going to slide it in on one side, push it in so it will lock. Then the opposite side. And now we're going to install this locking pins. Place it into the hole here. So make sure it's inside all the way. Then we're going to press this button in. Let's go on the opposite side. I'm going to slide the pin in and then press the button in. Now I'm going to place this wire basket back in, just on those 4 supports, and then we can slide it in. And let's pull out these rails. Let's install the freezer basket. I'm going to place this end first. The basket slides under these 2 limiters. So at the back, our basket locks over that tab here on the rail because it has a cutout right there. So we're going to put it down, and it goes down, and make sure that it locks on both sides. And now we can install the door. As you remember, we've got 2 pins, 1 on each side, and we need to hang the door on those pins. And the opposite side. And now we're going to secure the freezer door with the 4 3/8 bolts, 2 on each side. We're going to start with the right side, and then going to move to the left side. And I'm going to use 3/8 socket wrench. And now, when we're done, we can close the freezer door. Plug the fridge back in and make sure it's cooling. Thank you for being a part of another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. For any of your future appliance repair projects, please check out our other videos available on our site, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram.